Hi, and welcome to Friday's Channeling from Odyssey of Ascension. I'm Roxanne, and here we go once again. Very exciting. And greetings once again. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. I bid you a good day. All right, let us further ourselves in that idea of expansion, of ascension. How do we truly further ourselves, rather? How do we do that? Give ourselves something that is beyond ourselves, truly. But it can't be, let's say, out of bounds so far that it's not equatable to an idea in your perception, your framework of reality. For you have no basis to, let's say, move from into. In other words, you can't hop over a big idea. The idea is to, what you call, through the ascension idea, climbing the ladder, however you perceive it, doesn't matter, is to always get, let's say, a little bit more awake and let go of pieces of yourself that was limiting you, that you considered the construct of yourself, the value, treasure of your identity. To let go of that idea and let yourself birth from internal idea of yourself to reality around you, which is already you, you're just not seeing it fully. That is the journey. So we always give you ideas, encompassing ones that, let's say, reiterate a fundamental essential fundamental. Thank you. And that idea you can spawn off and it'll take you in this reality. Or we give you something that is, let's say, beyond, right at the edge of yourself, beyond yourself in the current moment, but let's say equatable enough to step upon that kind of idea. So it is only up to you on how you perceive things, whether you take an idea and dwell upon it, look at it at many angles of yourself, truly in art, to look at yourself from all perspectives, visualize yourself from this perspective, and that perspective, all at different ideas. Easy. All looking at one idea as well. So in that idea, however you choose to do it, it's the choice to do it that is, let's say, our greatest wish. To look at anything that comes into your reality with your immediate discernment to say, interesting. This is, let's say, ponderable. I don't even know if that's a word, but it is today. So in that idea, we're going to give you this new idea to, let's say, think about. Roxy got it in the dream last night, and she thought in that idea it would be good to channel on this idea. And we agreed, of course, because we are her and she is us. Interesting, isn't it? All right. You are thought. Moving thought. Take this idea in and of itself. Listen again. You are thought. Moving thought. Now, thought in and of itself is what you are in existence. You are only the idea of consciousness. Only nowhere and everywhere. Always nowhere, always everywhere. Ideas to let go of certain perspectives of yourself right now with that thought in and of itself. This is expansion. So if you are just a thought in that idea, and you are thinking of yourself as a human right now, everything around you, you are truly moving with your will. Not your thinking, that's limited. With your will, your willingness, your intention. However, intention in and of itself has an idea behind it. I intend to do this. Dreaming is just creation, imagination. Difference. Feel the quality. Feel it. I am dreaming of that, but I don't intend to get it, because intention in some aspects has goal orientation behind it, if you will. Has an outcome of expectation, if you will. But thought is moved with will. I am willing my reality into place by moving the thought. You don't see thought moving around you unless you are physically moving in that idea, or something in your reality is moving. That's not the movement we're talking about. That's part of it, but that's a minuscule. The movement we're talking about is imagination that we want you to perceive. Look at everything around you as appearing, reappearing, appearing, reappearing, destructing, reconstructing, and reconstructing. However you wish to perceive it. Take an item in your room. It does not matter. We will echo that of Seth in this now. Take an item, a table, a chair, anything that's solid, that sits still and does not move. Now, I want you to look at it as being there and then disappearing. Above it, let's say it dissipates. But below it, it is, let's say, not there, and then it comes into a visualization, and then it becomes solid for a split second of now, and then fades into nothing. And it repeats itself. This is the cycle that it is, because you are willing it there. You are moving thought to give yourself an idea of that item in the room. You are creating it always, deconstructing it in the next now, and then recreating it in that same now. And it is fluidly moving through itself with your movement of thought. This idea in and of itself doesn't have real logic behind it, doesn't have a solid basis. However, what it does is in the background idea of yourself, it will start to bring in more awareness on how things work and loosen up once again your framework of acceptable reality. Any kind of sliver of, let's say, beyond the truth you perceive now is that of ascension, is that of, let's say, deconstructing what you believe and reconstructing your new valid truth in that now, and then furthering yourself through the series of nows of ascension. Perfect. So in that idea, when thought moves thought, you are the thought right now. You are thinking this. You, listen now, equate this. You are Neo, once again, in the Matrix. We love this movie, obviously, because it is exactly how reality works in a lot of aspects. All right? When Neo is in the chair, plugged in to the Matrix, is he moving? No. He's sitting there, plugged in, and thinking the entire reality. Thought is moving himself in the Matrix. Thought is moving thought. That of, let's say, Lawrence Fishburne. Do you really think that's air you're breathing? That's the illusion. He wanted to give him a perspective that he is in an illusion. And he can control that because the air, what he thought was he was tired, needed to breathe air, was not there. It was the illusion of creation, and he's doing the motion with thought of movements within the reality of a dream. He was thinking of himself in that, moving all of his thoughts around to give that perception of that, let's say, fractalized self within the matrix reality. Perfect. So look at that idea. See yourself outside, plugged in. You are the thought, thinking of you inside of the matrix here, reality. And all of this is moving around you to give yourself the reality. You move, which everything else stands still. But the illusion is everything else is truly still, and so are you. Period. There's no movement in the idea. You are moving the thought to give you the illusion of thought. There is no over there. There is no movement. It's all the illusion of feeling, of your senses, giving you that, so you're moving the entire reality around you all the time in these billions of moments to moment to moment to moment to moment to give you the idea of experience of that of humanity. And all of your senses that are, let's say, feeling, seeing, touching, all that good idea, is translated. Where? Where is it translated? In your mind. It is electrical. It is synapses. It is that idea of input, translated, experience. It is thought. You are thinking. That is just the idea of this reality is solid. You are thinking with equatable ideas what it means. We want you to go above that and see that you are the thought, moving the thought within the reality, and it's all done with your will. Willingness to create in that idea. Not will, Kashna Maria Kokoshna. Not the idea of will, once again, over something. It is your natural state of being. In echoing that of Seth one more time, Seth truly said the ego is not a bad thing, and it most certainly is not. It is your power point of now, and that is your true equatable idea of ego, the will to create. But of course it has been idealized in a separated idea, which is perfect. You can deconstruct that and re-emerge the idea that the true ego in that fashion is the one that just wills its reality. Because it's your show. There's nothing that you cannot have within that idea. It is the idea of you showing yourself what is perceivable according to the thickness of your filter that tells you in that fashion if it is or if it is not. Is my filter too thick to perceive what I'm willing into reality according to that belief system I bought into it sometime or another that now faces me, and I look at it head on to deconstruct that once again. That is the ascension portion of it. But we want you to really feel that you are in the illusion. You are being thought of by you. And feel that idea. Move that around in you. Don't have to logical it. Don't have to categorize it. Because all that's going to do is try to find something neat and complete, file it away, and then you forget about it. No. That idea of always trying to fit it perfectly into the construct of your current belief system is that of slowing things down. The idea is allow this idea to open itself up to you and rewire that idea of your current framework. Stand by. Lovely. So, rewiring that current framework, what you perceive as reality. This is all the idea that you're always doing for yourself. Putting that little light that you can't quite make out on the very outskirts of that. This idea, you are thought. Thought is movement. Movement of you. Thinking of you. All of this is the idea on the outskirts. It doesn't need to be fit in neatly at this time. What it does in the idea, it is our wish, is given the allowance to let it blossom on its own. Trust this. So look at the concept of that of the matrix. Neo was not moving. Neo was just hanging out on his little chair, plugged into the matrix. Everything is thought. Don't think you are anything but thought. And then you start perceiving yourself as thought, as the individual I am, thinking of yourself in that limited idea into this reality. All of these thoughts are movement of thought with you thinking in that idea, truly willing. So, understand this concept. It is what you would call a stepping stone for expansion. Listen, we can only give so much to you. We can't once again give you something that doesn't have anything to do with the price-efficient China. Because it doesn't fit. Once again, we can't go back 2,000 years and introduce a laptop. They're going to go, what the fuck is that? They don't understand. It doesn't fit in the framework. There's no electricity. It doesn't fit. Make sense? So, as humanity evolves, the idea of yourselves allowing more information to come in that would take you beyond yourself is what is in play. So in that idea, we give impartations to tickle your fancy at the outskirts of your framework to expand your container of all that is. And in that expansion, you deconstruct your old self to a point to where you look back in time and you don't even recognize yourself because you are such a different person. Of course, it's not what you're losing, it's what you're gaining. It's what you're forgetting to what you're remembering. I am a fractalized, let's say, idea of fear into an idea of myself as love, as God, as the immortal I am. You are remembering yourself, deconstructing the personality that keeps you separated from you, the God that you are. So, love this idea. Allow this idea. Don't, let's say, discount it in any fashion. Just let it sit. If you are tuned into this, it serves a purpose because you chose it. So whatever, listen now, whatever you get out of this, it doesn't matter. Because we have no, let's say, regard in how you judge it, compare it, what it does for you. Why? Because this is our joy. And we're expanding ourselves by offering what we love. You do the same, and you become the highest light of all that is. Booyah. All right? We shall take a break. This is Ocyphius. I bid you a good now. Adonde. Oh, you're so cool. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. We're going to take a short break. I love you. Bye. Hi, and welcome back from break. And greetings once again. Welcome back from break in that fashion. We have a guest. All right. Do you like the movements? I'm looking like I'm thinking. Representation in the mirror of deep thought. Everything you see right now is a representation of an idea expressed through the individual singularity, that of Roxanne, according to what she perceives as reality. So she gets this vibration, this frequency that is me. Who is me? I am Ocyphius. Not in the now of this Ocyphius, but in the now of another Ocyphius. The expanded Ocyphius of the 14th density idea. So now I construct myself in a new frequency, and Roxanne feels that difference and then translates it differently. Cool, huh? Is it? Of course, because it's a fucking idea. It's an idea that you can see that whatever is in your frequency band that you connect to is that, let's say, of a vibration that's going to bring forth in your reality some kind of output. Some kind of frequency representation. So if you turn around for a second and just look at your, let's say, collective, your past selves, your past ideas of those that you love, your future ideas based off your past of those that you love. Do you see that everything is an idea birthed in the moment of a frequency band you connect to? So when you look at yourself in a different way, you cannot be perceived but a different way. Period. I perceive myself differently as this 14th density idea, therefore it has to be represented differently in the 14th density idea, translated into the frequency of what you understand as humanity in this current space-time now. It's all frequency. It cannot be anything but frequency because everything is thought. Thought in and of itself is perfectly still. When you put your will into the movement of thought, it creates two things, light and tone. Period. all of it vibrates. How you perceive it vibrates through the idea of tone or light. It makes no difference. It is the translation of that frequency according to your perceiving mind based off of what you understand it is to be a human to this now framework. Then that gives you the reality of that new coded frequency. And if it is that beyond yourself, which it all is because everything is new, the choice is whether you want to perceive it in an idea of regurgitation or an idea of ascension, of expanding. We're dinging, hang on. There's that 5 o'clock, Roxy. Yes. All right. So if you understand, and if you go with the foundation, just put it into place. We don't care how you do it. That everything is a frequency vibration. And when you are down here, and we're up here, and then you raise that idea in allowance, and then you connect all of that frequency. If you let it go, if you surrender to it, if you trust it, it will present itself in its own way. You will think and move and act in a different way. If you shut it down, then you will either A, not even, let's say, connect to it, or B, condition it according to your comfort level at the moment. When you surrender completely, you may, let's say, act in a way that's out of bounds to the others in reality. However, you are having a good time. So choose. Would you rather have a good time, or would you rather condition the new frequency you connect to according to the scrutiny in the mirror for acceptable ideas of being, let's say, belonging, being fitting in? Anything that keeps you in the conditioning field of reality is what you're deconstructing. And all of these frequencies that are around you at every single now are all there for your taking. It's all being offered. Not in the idea of you deserve it, here's this. Bullshit. It's what you are in your essence, in your existing birth idea of unconditional love. Therefore, it's all available all the time. Once again, it's what you're allowing in. Imagine, let's say, a dome. All right. The dome idea, you were at the center of this dome. Flat land around you, nothing in it, in this wonderful dome down to the earth, and it's made of glass. All right? All of these ideas of frequencies are always on the outskirts of this dome, vibrating it all the time. And it is up to you what you go up and allow in to expand that dome larger to where the dome is no longer there. You are just naked to every frequency. You let it in and let your perceiving mind translate it in whatever it's going to be. That, let's say, will kick ass. Because there's no conditioning of it. If you get a frequency and it gives you distorted thoughts, rejoice. For that's the distortion, trying to figure it out. The distortion is your personality of separation. Is your ego construct of that of conditioned ideas of security? Comfort in this treasured idea of myself? If I deem this as me, I can't go beyond me because I'm happy now. Bullshit, you're mediocre. You're safe. Don't need to be safe. Safe against what? Eternal love? You validate the idea of needing to be safe, you validate attack. Simple. Peel away all these illusional ideas that keep you encrusted within that dome. That dome is paper thin. And as these vibrations of yourself are being, let's say, Krishna Marietta. The act of awareness, acknowledging that they're there, is what takes it beyond the idea of the dome through the dome into your awareness. That frequency is now vibrating within you. All frequencies have light encoded ideas in them. Thoughts, images, anything that your perceiving mind can, let's say, conceive. And it doesn't have to be immediate. Because when you want to have the answer right now, you're trying to be smart. To who? To a forgotten God? To a structured system of what smart is, an IQ test? No. Your God remembering your God. So in that, know that you don't need to be smart in the moment for acceptance. You don't need to have the answer immediately what this means. For that would condition it to a point of repetition over and over and over again till it is forgotten. And then you will perceive what it is like to, let's say to yourself at a point of the future, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Forget that. Act now on the vibrations by allowing yourself to be naked to that. Let it come in and translate. It's like a music song, a new song that you hear. That song just moves you automatically. It just takes you and takes your body, your thoughts, and puts you in a, let's say, space of love. And in that space of love, you can feel the vibration of that idea tune, of that movement of thought. Think about this. It's really simple. Don't complicate it by trying to dissect it for a logical reason so you can regurgitate it in somebody's mirror so you can feel good about yourself. You're already God. I don't think there's anything better than that. Coming from a God perspective. All right. So just listen to yourself. Trust your vibrations. Let them in. Let them in. Let them play out in the moment on however you represent them within you and how it is birthed into physical reality. That gives you the direct experience of that vibration to understand it in its fullness. And you take whatever is in there that exposes love and you rejoice and follow that, and then you take whatever in that frequency that has been translated the idea of illusion, and then you love that as well for its exposure of that of limitation. And then you allow it to go away. Bye. Thanks for coming by. Simple. Ascension is simple. We make it hard. But that's okay. Because making things hard is that of the illusion as well. Excellent. All right, I'll return you to me and the other now. All right, excellent. Once again, this is Ocyphius. Our eternal gratitude for tuning into our joy, watching ourselves expand into, let's say, other ideas of ourselves. And you are now turning into the new you by just being you. How simple, how beautiful, how epic. This is Ocyphius. I bid you a good now. Adore. Excellent. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll get this up ASAP, as we say. Love you. Bye.